Now, I want to know what's going on. I want to know what is going on with Bitcoin. I watched my favorite my favorite Bitcoin moon boy on Friday, and he said that by Sunday, Bitcoin was going to be at $60,000 and that in 2 months, Bitcoin was going to be at $150,000. I want to know what is going on here. And then we dropped down to $43,000, and my second favorite moon boy said that we would never ever drop below 42,000, and he said that we would find support. We did drop. We would never drop below 42,000, and we would bounce off 43,000. Well, in one day, we went from 53, just under 53,000, all the way down to 43,000. I want to know what's going on. My moon boys said this would not happen. And if they say something, it has got to be so. This is outrageous, and it's got to be manipulation. That's what the Moon Boys said last time when it dropped from 64,000 down to 28,000. Said it nearly every day that it was just manipulation, as they called the bottom every single day. I've got 5 favorite Moon Boys. They keep trying to outdo each other. My favorite Moon Boy just made a video. What a bargain. Bitcoin was at 50,000. He's even recommending it to his neighbors. If this thing keeps... My favorite Moon Boy just said how wonderful and attractive Bitcoin was at $50,000 because it was going to be at 60,000 by Sunday, and in 2 months from now it's going to be at 150,000. Now, we had a flash crash style move in the crypto markets. Some dropped 20% or more. Bitcoin got wiped out, dropping almost 12%. Ethereum was worse. I think last time I looked at it, it was like 13 or 14% or something like that for the Tuesday session. But 400 billion in market value on Bitcoin wiped out as El Salvador makes Bitcoin legal tender. We're seeing all the leverage now. People being on margin, a lot of margin to the upside. Margin calls being triggered. People being forced out of positions. This is what I've been saying is likely coming around the 61.8 Fibonacci, and overthrew it. Now we're getting the reversal of conditions. Now, all kidding aside, these moon boys get more and more outrageous because they have to keep outdoing each other to get hits. Look, I am long-term bullish on Bitcoin. My signals were bullish. Now they're turning back to bearish. Over here they were bearish. Over here they were bullish. The signals continue to be right. And Moon Boys, they don't think prices go up and down. They just, through this whole decline, they were calling a bottom every day. They were totally blindsided by the whole thing. I was expecting a big move up. I didn't know if my signals remained negative, if we were going to get the drop and then get it, if we were going to push through the blue and purple line right there and push through the first tier of resistance and our 50-period moving average and get it there, which we did. Expecting a move back up to the line in the sand, 47,000. If we pushed above the line in the sand, we're going to go test our 61.8 Fibonacci at 51,000. We overthrew it. It went to 52,000 and some change, just under 53. Formed triple negative diversions, just like what we had back over here, a 3 drives to a high pattern. Very similar here in this move. Point is that my signals were bearish through the entire decline. They flipped back to bullish, and they've been bullish. Went up to our target levels. Now we have a bearish engulfing candlestick, and we're getting a reversal. Have a reversal of conditions on the daily chart with the Bitcoin Cash chart and with futures, and negative diversions in place on the MACD, the RSI, many other signals, which I'll show you in just a bit. My second favorite Moon Boy has said we're never going to drop ever again below 42,000. This low right here is this peak right here is 41. This peak right here is 42,000. That is a support area, and our cloud is the trending cloud is right there, just within that range. But the second favorite Moon Boy has said we are never ever going to drop below 42,000. These these moon boys are going to do the same exact thing that they're going to do that they did back over here when this pump, which we were bullish, the way up until we formed the 3 drives to the high with the triple negative diversions. My signals correctly forecasted the top, marked the turn, bearish reversal of conditions, and they were bearish all the way down until right there, as we talked about a moment ago. Been bullish. In the sideways move, I had a couple of bearish reversal of conditions, as I told you. We were either going sideways or down. We were going sideways, and we formed 3 drives to the high. We're now getting the bearish reversal of conditions with the triple negative diversions. The point I'm trying to make is that these signals are accurate. I have a lot of signals. My last video, I showed you that the signals through the uptrend have remained bullish. Through the downtrend, they were bearish. I am neither bull nor bear. Unfortunately, as I talk about a larger correction, I am long-term bullish. My target level is 102,000 to 140,000 on Bitcoin. I've shown you why. Fortunately, some people are guilty of not hearing me say that my signals are bullish, because I say that I think we're going to go down into the low 20,000 or 19,000 area. So my last update, I went through and showed you where my signals turned bullish, where they were bearish. They're now bullish. They're flipping. Right now they're changing. Not all of them, but many of them have changed with a bearish reversal of conditions. But unfortunately, because I think that we're in a larger corrective move, and I think we're going to get another leg down, some people think that means that the signals are bearish. And that's not what been taking place with this move higher. The signals have remained bullish. I repeat myself because a lot of people have selective hearing and they only hear what they want to hear. Let me just be clear, my signals have been absolutely correct. I've been expecting a move up to the line in the sand or the 61-point Fibonacci. We've gotten that. And now it looks like we're getting a reversal we need to be watching very closely. Now, when I say I'm neither bull nor bear, again, I believe in normal price behavior. Burma bulls, the moon boys, they don't believe in normal price behavior. They only believe in up. That's not the way markets work. Markets go up, markets go down, markets go up, markets go down. That's the way markets work. Now, right now, I believe that we're still in a bull market. The bull market structure is still in place. I happen to believe that we're in a corrective move and that this was a counter trend. And I have been completely attacked for believing that, just like I believed it back over here when we were forming the 3 drives to the high, the negative diversions, when I believed that we had a top in at the right time, because I've got great indicators. I was the most hated man in crypto back then, just like I am right now, because I dare to say that Bitcoin is going to likely remain in a corrective phase. People don't want to hear that. There's something called confirmational bias. The moon boys, even when the market is, even when Bitcoin is tanking and the crypto market is tanking, that's why the moon boys do so well, because people have confirmation bias. They want to hear what they want to hear. You've got your favorite moon boys. I have my favorite moon boys. I hope you have your favorite moon boys. Well, they reaffirm what people want to hear. People don't want to hear the truth. Markets go up and markets go down, and hey, maybe we're in a bigger correction. Maybe Bitcoin's going to drop 55% here, which our indicators correctly predicted. Bitcoin back up to the line in the sand and the Fibonacci, 61-point Fibonacci, as this turn in this push above my signals. Signals all turning bullish, correctly predicted. People have confirmation bias, and they don't want to hear the truth. And that's why the moon boys do so well. That's why they can call bottom all the way down, 55%, 60% on Ethereum. And people still listen because there's hope. There's hope. Well, if we drop and we end up taking out these lows, that hope is going to be crushed. See what's called capitulation. Now we've had complacency and people don't believe, like my second favorite moon boy, that prices could ever drop down below 42,000. My first favorite moon boy, that Bitcoin's going to be at 60,000 by Sunday, which was 2 days ago, and 50,000 in the next 8 weeks. It's unrealistic because markets go up and markets go down. So we're likely going to head back and test this low right here from July. I've got a lot more to show you. I've got great charts. I'm going to link a video at the. I'm going to put a video link at the end of this video. It shows all my great charts, how they were bullish. Now they're flipping back to bearish. Take a look at that. Those are some great charts. But if you like the videos and you like the charts and you like the information you're getting, please take the time to subscribe to this channel. Ron Walker here, and I am the Crypto Trader, your guiding light in times of confusion and doubt. So I'm going to show you a couple things that I think are happening, but before I say that, I want to say this. To the moon! You know, I noticed the Moon Boys are strangely silent. They're going to do exactly what they did the last time when it dropped. They're gonna yell manipulation. See, when they're wrong, they got to yell manipulation. They only know one thing. They only know up. They don't know markets go up and down. They only know up because they're perma bulls. I am neither bull nor bear. Whatever my signals say, that's what I am. Now, we are still in a long-term bull cycle, yes, but likely still in a corrective phase. This is likely a counter trend. Now, again, I'm going to show you a couple scenarios. This one right here is the corrective phase scenario. And again, now, this is what I think is going on. Again, we are extremely bullish the run-up for wave 3. I think that we have a larger corrective move on our hands. Again, I think that caused the run-up was wave 3, caused wave 3 to form. And now I think we have a wave 4 that's unfolding in an A, B, and likely a C. I could be wrong. If we completed a bottom here, then we get a higher low. Show you that scenario. I have a hard time getting a 3-leg correction down out of this. It looks more like a 5-leg push lower to me. All the while, on the rally back up, the rate of change has remained here in the weekly time frame in the negative region. Right now we're pushing back below the momentum line. We'll see how we close out by the week, but I'm going to show you some things that I'm going to be watching and some scenarios that could be in play now, depending on if we come down and take out these lows right here at the 28,000, 29,000 area. If we get a sell-off and we don't set up a higher low, we come back down and take out 28,000, then very possible we have a flag, a bull flag developing, or it might be steeper if we go down more rapidly, or even develop as a bullish falling wedge if that were to be the case, something like that. But I think, and again, wave C's could be more dramatic than wave A, which was right here. See that right here? Here's a wave A in the corrective phase of 2, wave B, and then the wave C was more dramatic. I'm going to show you that scenario, and I'm going to show you a bullish scenario. If you think that Bitcoin is bottomed at 28,000, then you're going to want to see this. But right now, let me just go back to the scenario where we have the wave A, B, and now possibly beginning wave C, if we have in fact topped at just above our 61.8 Fibonacci. Again, I think we've got a 5-leg push lower right here for wave A. Then I think we have a complex corrective move for WX and Y. And in the Y wave, we have this ABC. It's back-to-back corrective moves. That's what it is. And we have A, B, and then C. And it's what I think has happened here for the 3 drives to a high, and I've marked it here so you can see it, is that we have a rising wedge with an ending diagonal. You can see the larger rising wedge that I've outlined here in black, but you can see also the 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, how the 4 and the 1 overlap in an ending diagonal. That is permitted, and it looks like it's done now. So I think we've peaked with an ending diagonal with this rising wedge that has broken down with the 11.5% drop, and it was greater than that. We moved down all the way down to the 50-period moving average. You're going to hear people say that the bottom's in. They're going to call bottoms all the way down, just like they did over here with the 19% sell-off, just like they did over here with the dramatic push down where we had dropped by 50% from the high to that level, and then down here by the time we had dropped 55%. My 2 favorite moon boys called the bottom all the way down. My signals they turned back to bullish here. In the sideways move, we had a bearish reversal of conditions a couple of times. When you go sideways, that sometimes happens, but we never were able to break the 21 period moving average. We bounced off of it. I'm going to show you that. We're at a critical test. In order for this reversal to play out, we've got to be able to take out the 200. Now, we did push below it on an intraday basis today. We'll probably see a rally back up, and then you're going to get all these moon boys saying, "Oh, see the dip, buy the dip." And let me be clear: the whales have pushed this up, okay? And it's designed to do as much damage to everybody as possible. It's designed to create a massive short squeeze. Then it's also designed to suck in as many retail investors as possible. As many as people as the moon boys can convince that buying at 50,000 is a great buying opportunity. We're never going below 42,000 ever again. As many people as can be sucked in, the bulls, so that they can pull the carpet out from underneath them and tank this thing. The whales do the opposite of what retail investors do. You have to understand this. But I think they pushed this thing up, and now I think we're seeing profit taking. We're going to see more profit taking, and they're going to rattle the retail investors. They're going to likely tank this thing, and you're going to see all these moon boys, the same thing they did back over here, and yell manipulation. So this is the scenario that I think is going on. I think we have the A, B, and we're about to get C. I do not believe Bitcoin is topped yet. I do believe that we're probably in the extended prolonged corrective phase. If I'm wrong, I'll show you the scenario, but I have a hard time with it. I'll show you why. But just quickly, you can see it, the bull flag pattern that I think is carving out here a little bit better on this daily chart rather than the weekly. But here you can see again the 5-leg push lower for A, the rally back up for B, WXY, and now I think we're starting the wave C that I think is going to take us probably towards 19 or 20,000, maybe a little higher. I think that will complete wave 4, and then I think the moon boys will be correct in that we will go up to the moon towards 102,000 to 140,000, where I think Bitcoin will top, a bull market cycle will complete, will usher in a new bear market. This is a corrective phase, in my opinion, not a bear market. But this is what I think is going on. And people have been beating me up for daring to think that Bitcoin would drop just like they did back over at the top, man. Same exact nonsense. Now here it is, without so many moving averages and the lighter cloud. Here you can see it again. Wave A, wave B, and again, look at the ending diagonal, the rising wedge that we saw in the other chart, just overthrowing our 61.8 Fibonacci. 28.6 Fibonacci is at 57,000. This is the golden ratio here, the golden pocket between the 61.8 Fib and the 78.6 Fibonacci, and we're looking to see if we would get rejection in that range, which we've talked at great length and detail about. So again, I think it's probably going to be a pretty rapid drop. My guess is we're going to take out 28, 29,000. We're going to hear people now saying, oh, it's just a pullback, the people that told us that back over here that it was never going to drop back below 60,000. Then when it did, then it was never going to drop below 50,000. Then it did, and it dropped all the way down to 28,000. Same nonsense. That's not how markets work, man. Now, I could be wrong, and this could be some kind of ABC structure right here that could have created a bottom. I'm open-minded to that, but I have a hard time with that. I'm going to show you the count right now. But it looks like a 5-leg push lower and an ABC corrective move, say a complex WXY move back up for B. You can see here clearly on this chart up close, the 5-leg push for A, the pullback for B, and then another 5-leg push in an ending diagonal created the 3 drives to a high and created the negative diversions. First thing I want to say about the target levels is that, again, with this 55% decline, if you take the Fibonacci expansion, the 1.236 expansion of that, you come out with a target level of 19,960. That's the expansion of that decline. Now, again, we have to be able to take out 28, 29,000 in order to see that happen. If we do, I think we've got a good shot at a bull flag pattern. I think is what's going to happen is, see this spring parameter right here? I think it's going to end up rolling over. I think we're going to get a pretty dramatic drop, And we'll probably get a rally back up, and the Moon Boys will go, see, it's bottom, buy the dip. And then suck in more people, and then they'll drop the carpet from pull the rug out from underneath folks, and we'll probably see the thing move into a free fall. But I think the parameter is going to roll over, and I think it'll turn down into the negative region again. I think we'll see a diversion set up, and by the time we see that happen, I think it'll be somewhere in a low, probably in October or maybe November. But I think September is going to be bad, and I think October is going to be bad. I think we'll probably see a low in October, as I've been saying for so long, but people don't want to hear that, and the people that do hear it, fortunately, don't listen to me correctly. Markets go up and markets go down. Hear that my signals have been bullish through this run-up. They turn back to bullish, and they only hear that I think we're going to get another leg lower. That's not correct either. Markets go up and markets go down. I'm not going to be a perma bull, and I'm not going to be a perma bear. Once we bottom, if we do move to a new low, which I think we will, but I could be wrong, I think this thing is going to go flying higher. Show you the bullish case, and here it is. Before I do, let me just show you this chart. This chart right here. I've taken my pitchfork from the high that we had here, and I've taken it from the low that we had there with the completion of wave A, and it gives us some interesting levels to be watching. And if you put it with these lows over here, if you measure it with these lows right here, the pitchfork, it shows some interesting support coming in right around the 35,000 area, and that's this horizontal level of support that I've marked here. Going to be watching to see if we find support there, or if we break that level, then the door's open to test 29,000, and if we do, then the door's opened to go all the way down to the lower end of the pitchfork, which would take us towards 20,000. Another quick pitchfork, and I've marked a 5-leg push lower scenario right here that you can see for potential wave C. But just between me and you, you're not supposed to think that. Bitcoin only goes up, it doesn't go down. And just quickly, my pitchfork in the weekly time frame, I've talked about this from the wave 1 high to the wave 2 low. When we bounced off the 50, we got rejection at the midpoint of the pitchfork and moved to lower lows. And we got this rally up, similar to what we have right now, but then we moved to a lower low. And I think that we're doing the same thing right now. Again, we had this move up with wave 3, this dramatic move, which I was extremely bullish until we got the 3 drives to high, and you could see the negative diversions with the 3 drives to high in the weekly time frame on many of the indicators. But we broke that midpoint. We bounced off the 50 just like we did over here. We went back up to the midpoint just like we did over here, and now we're getting rejection at it just like we did over here. So I think that we could see a pretty dramatic drop. The lower end of the pitchfork is coming in here, the low 20,000 range, horizontal support from the previous bull market high is coming in that same neighborhood. So again, we could see a move down, find support at the pitchfork or just above it, take out 28,000, maybe go into the low 20,000 range or 19 or 20,000, and see this thing complete in a bottom if I am correct and we take out 28,000, which I think we're going to. Now, if I am wrong, then wave 4 is done, and we're not going to take out the 28,000 level, and we'll see a wave 2. I have a real problem with this scenario because I have a hard time getting a 5 or 3-leg push lower out of this, which that's what it needs to be to complete the wave 4. Now, I can get a 3-leg with A, B, and then C for a 3-leg push lower. That would be an extended, prolonged, corrected move. But right here, a lot of Elliott Wave people think what I think because they have a problem with this. So if we have a wave A and a wave B, a 3-leg push down, 3-leg push back up, and then a 5-leg push down, here's the problem. Here's 1, 2, 3, and then look at 4. Look how big 4 is compared to 2. Okay, this doesn't look like a 2 to me. This structure, this looks like a rapid 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a 5 right there for this wave 3 down, wave 4, and then wave 5. That's what it looks like to me. I have a problem with this structure being wave 4 with this bigger move and wave 2 with this smaller move. But if you're bullish on Bitcoin, you think Bitcoin has bottomed, man, and you're ready to rock and roll with Moon Boy madness, here's what you want to be looking for. If we have in fact bottomed with wave 4 here, then we have wave 1, 2, which that looks like a 3-leg push higher to me. It doesn't look like a 5-leg push higher. I have a real problem with that being 1. It doesn't fit. And then this is an extended 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for 3, 4, and then 5. And now we're looking for an A, B, C for 2 that will be higher than the lows. So here's the problem I have with this count. The problem I have is the wave 1. The problem I have is this wave 2 and structure of an A, B. You see the B, the A, B, and then C with this 5-leg push lower. It doesn't look right to me. That's why I believe that this is a counter trend and that we've got a 5-leg push lower that we're going and that we've completed a complex corrective move that is going to be followed by another 5-leg push lower, a 5-3-3 pattern. But if I'm wrong and we don't take out 28,000, then you're looking for a higher low, and then you're going to be looking for a Fibonacci retracement, which I brought here. I have the other Fibonacci's, so it's a little hard to see the Fibonacci 61.8 fib that we're hitting. But if we come down, our 61.8 Fibonacci is at 37,000 and a half or so, about 37,600 and some change. 78.6 fib not seen here would be probably just a bit lower around the 34,000 area. So that's a bullish scenario that we've already bottomed, that we've already completed wave 4, and that we're now getting this first leg up for wave 1. We're now going to get wave 2, and then that's going to be followed by wave 3 that will take us to new highs. My guess is that's wrong. I could be wrong. I am not perfect. I'm not infallible. But I'm not a moon boy, and I call them as I see them. And again, my signals are correct, and I just don't see this as a 5-leg push or 3-leg push lower for an ABC move. It just doesn't look right. This looks right to me. The 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, W, X, Y, and then within the Y is the ABC move. It's a complex correction. I don't have time to explain it. That's what I think is going on. The breaking of a rising wedge, an ending diagonal. Another thing too is crypto is going to have a hard time. And again, you had some of the cryptocurrencies drop by 20% today and greater. Some of them, Ethereum was down 13.5%. Some of the ones that have been running just collapsed. But the dollar is bouncing off this trend line. Now has 4 touches. We're bouncing off of it, and the dollar previously had broken this trend line, then broke horizontal resistance, but it failed. It was a false breakout, and the pullback on the dollar gave us the run up in crypto. Have a negative correlation. Now we get a reversal bar on Bitcoin, and now I'm going to see if we start to get a surge. And I think we will. I think the stochastic will recycle back up. I think that we're going to bounce off the cloud in the weekly time frame. Right now we're trying to bounce off of the 21 period moving average in the weekly time frame on the dollar. I think the dollar will get the surge off the trend line I just showed you on the daily chart. And again, that should push crypto back down. I think eventually the dollar will peak and we'll get the completion of the corrective move. Eventually, I think that Bitcoin will move to 102,000 to 140,000. I remain long-term bullish. I just happen to believe we're in an extended corrective phase. So Bitcoin gets a bearish reversal of conditions. We could see this bar turn back up. All the moon boys will go, yay, see? This is likely a reversal bar because it's done a couple of things. It's now pushed the RSI into the negative region with the triple negative diversions, and it's pushed the money flow into the negative region. Money flow turned negative today. Look at that right there. Completing our diversions on the MACD. Keep this in mind. I'm going to show you the futures now also has a bearish reversal of conditions with its daily chart as well. This bar right here, it wiped out 7 sessions worth of gains. Now we're testing the 200 period moving average, and we're just below there. See that purple line? That is the momentum line. We're dropping back below it. We took it out. We'll probably push back above it, suck in more people, have the Moon Boys call a bottom, and then they're gonna drop this thing, and they're gonna probably drop it below the 50 period moving average pretty hard. But we did drop today, and still below, in the session going into tomorrow, we did drop back below the 21 period moving average. Now, we also took out my momentum cloud. Okay, the momentum cloud has been taken out. Again, this is the first tier of resistance that I talked about when we got back above the momentum line and the 21 period moving average right there. Then the 50 period moving average, my signals began to turn back to bullish right there when we pushed up through the 50 period moving average. But before that, we had the RSI first turn and the money flow. They were the first to turn. Now they're both turning down. They're both turning down. But the money flow, my money flow indicator was bearish, consistently bearish through the entire decline, and then it turned back to bullish. It was the first one with the RSI when we got it back above the momentum line and the 21 period moving average. Now we're starting to see distribution volume. This has formed a negative divergence, also multiple point negative divergence with Bitcoin, and now we're seeing the reversal. We'll probably get some kind of rebound, maybe up the cloud, maybe get back above it, who knows. But again, this high is likely the top. Question now is, do we pull back? We get a higher low at the 400 period moving average, which is coming in just below 34,000, which we bounced off of previously. I'm a big believer in the 400 period moving average. Or do we end up coming down, setting up a lower high, and then coming down and taking out that level, taking out 28,000? But right now, money flows turned negative. We have major distribution volume. We wiped out massive amounts of gains, and market cap took a massive hit. So we're below the 21. We're below, or resting really, right on the momentum line, and we're below the momentum cloud. 50 is just below the 200. Going to be watching to see if we get a massive sell-off that prevents a bullish cross, or if we get a massive sell-off and we get a bullish cross and then it fails immediately, if we start tanking. And we could see what happened with gold, where these crossovers take place back and forth with a massive amount of volatility. I'll be looking at this to see if what happens between them. Again, the Bitcoin Trend Advisor, we are currently in an accumulation phase because we're still closing here, holding above our 200 period moving average. We're in an accumulation phase. So if we start dropping below it, we'll have an accumulation phase failure. If we drop below both the 50 and the 200 in one big swoop, then we'll revert right back into a bearish phase. So again, going to be looking at this very closely. If we get a bullish cross and we drop below them, then we'll change to a distribution phase, meaning the 50 is above the 200, but prices are below both. Some things to be watching for. Some other important things. First of all, Bitcoin with the diversions over the weekend had closed above its upper Bollinger Band, closed back below it, triggering a Bollinger Band sell signal. We got one back over here, and it produced a pullback to the 21. This one's taken out the 21. We got one over here that produced a volatility. We got another one right here that produced a major sell signal and the reversal. So again, a Bollinger Band sell signal on the daily chart for Bitcoin. Divergence has formed with the FUD filter. Previously had a divergence, and now Bitcoin's moved to new highs. The FUD filter has a discrepancy. It has not moved to new lows, and now it's pushing up and reversing. It's reversing. So that tells us that the FUD is real. Fear, the uncertainty, and the doubt. Bitcoin's critical mass trend timer, massive divergence with Bitcoin. Again, very similar divergence that nailed the top. Bitcoin had a divergence, critical mass trend timer, massive divergence that marked that top. We had a negative divergence when it bottomed out, when Bitcoin bottomed out, gave us the reversal of conditions, a bullish reversal of conditions that gave us the push up through the first tier of resistance, producing this rally. But now we have another negative divergence. Now, if we start seeing Bitcoin's critical mass trend timer start pushing above the signal line here, then it will validate a reversal. If we hold above that level, we can get a bigger sell-off. If we don't hold above it, then maybe I'm wrong and we haven't bottomed, or we've already bottomed and we get a higher low and then a higher high. I have problems with that because I have a hard time getting a three-leg push down for the wave 4 to have concluded here at this low. So we'll see if the divergence plays out here with the critical mass trend timer for Bitcoin. Quickly, just a few charts. Bitcoin is getting a reversal of conditions with the futures. Bearish engulfing bar right there. The bar was still blue, reflecting the trend, but now for tomorrow's bar, we're back to a red bar. We have a red cloud into tomorrow's session, and again, we're trying to bounce off the 21 period moving average, off the momentum line, as we saw earlier on the Bitcoin chart, but a bearish reversal of conditions here in the daily time frame for futures. Now, the Bitcoin cash chart had gotten in the sideways move a couple of reversal of conditions. I think it was two as we went sideways, but we never got it here with futures, and then now we're getting it. So we'll see what becomes of that as we hit that 61.8 Fibonacci and just overthrown it ever so slightly. Now with the move, we're starting to see some negative signals. We'll see how we close out tomorrow with the bearish reversal of conditions. We saw with the move down, we saw balance of power shift into the negative region. Turn back up here though with the bar, even though it's red, we're still trying to rally. We may rally up, and then we may see this go negative again. Or if we sell off immediately and continue the momentum downward, we may see the bar close into the negative region again. But right now, it's important because while we were moving higher, the balance of power was with bulls, and then when we dropped, it switched into the negative region with the bears, and then it turned back up. And again, my signals with the Bitcoin cash chart began to turn back to bullish, push back above the 21 here. They began to push back with this bar right here because Bitcoin had flipped back to bullish over the weekend and the futures were closed. So we start moving into the negative region consistently, then we'll see if we get the higher low scenario for the bullish scenario or if we get the next leg lower. Now, major sell signal, again, with the bearish engulfing with futures here. The forecast line, we dropped below it on an intra-day basis. We held above it, but the bar has turned red, reflecting the trend. The cloud has turned red, reflecting the trend. And the oscillator has turned into negative territory and turned red, reflecting the trend. As long as these signals remain red, it increases the odds that we're going to take out the forecast line, which we did do on an intraday basis during the session. We'll see if we do it here. Maybe we bounce and then we do it. Maybe we take it out immediately, get a follow through immediately. This is a really important chart because while we were in positive territory with the oscillator, bars were consistently green, holding above the forecast line. At the reversal of conditions, the oscillator moved into the negative region, turned red. Every single bar was red in the decline. Look at that. In the uptrend, bars were consistently green, holding above the forecast line. When we dropped below it, they were consistently red. Every single bar was red until this bar right here, and we got back into positive territory. Now we're turning back down. So the only way this goes higher is if we go up to the 78.6 Fibonacci at 57,000. If everything turns back to bullish, starting to see signals turn back to bearish now. Not all of them, but many of them. Bearish reversal conditions. We've got here a bearish reversal of conditions. So during the uptrend, I think was a larger counter trend, the bars were green. Now the bars are red. And unfortunately, a lot of people don't hear that. My signals turn back to bullish here. I think it's because I say that I think we're going to go to 20,000 that maybe people don't listen to what I'm saying. The signals have been bullish. They just flipped back to bearish today. But this is an absolutely amazing chart because, again, I find it amazing how these signals played out. Please hear what I'm about to say. Oh, we have a red bar and a red cloud and a red oscillator. We have to drop back below the forecast line there at 46,600. We have to drop back below that level. If we bounce higher and then we do it, the signal will remain on sell. If we get a follow through and we just drop immediately, the signal will remain on sell. If we can't take out that forecast line, then there's still risk of going to 57,000 to signals turn back to bullish and going to the 78.6 Fibonacci. My guess is that we're seeing the reversal right here now, but you got to take out that forecast line. You have to do it to get a bigger sell-off. Over here we took it out, we went back up to it, and we got rejection at it, got the bigger drop. Over here we came up, overthrew it, got the bigger drop. An amazing chart. Not all my signals have turned bearish yet. These oscillators have got to go into the negative region, and we've got to take out this lower line right here. We've got to take out both of them, not just one of them. We've taken out one, we've got to take out both. The dynamic duo, same thing. We're starting to see one of the oscillators go into the negative region with the sell-off. The other one's not there yet, and we haven't taken out. We did take out on an intraday basis the dynamic lines, but holding at them right now at the upper end one. We've got to be able to take out 45,500 in order to take out both dynamic lines. Okay? Same thing here with the dynamic lines. If you drop below them and hold below them as we did over here and see the oscillators move into the negative region, consistently negative, bad things happen. Over here, signals turn back to bullish, good things happen. So I've had some signals turn back to bearish, a bearish reversal of conditions. Clearly we have, but we have to have confirmation. Dropping back below the dynamic lines, dropping below the forecast line. So we'll see what happens. We very well could get a bounce. As we sell off, we'll be looking to see if we back test and then resume the decline. We'll be looking at the 50, at the 100, and the cloud. We'll be looking to see if the MACD goes in. The money flow stays negative as we saw it turn negative today, and if the RSI remains consistently negative. Have a great day.